What's going on, guys? Midwest is back again. I thought I would do a quick video on impact sockets and specifically universal or swivel sockets, whatever you want to call them, articulating sockets, I don't know. Anyways, so I picked up this new set of Husky, which we are going to get into. And some will say, well, wait a minute, James, you have like primarily all American made tools. For the most part, why would you go out and get Husky universal swivel sockets that are more than likely almost guaranteed to not be made in the USA? And so I've been toying around with the idea, the notion of trying out some tools that are built offshore and giving offshore manufacturing a little bit more consideration than what maybe I have in the past. And that's not driven by financial restrictions. That's more or less to ensure that I am considering the opinions of my audience as a whole and not just merely the ones who are pro-American made tools as myself. And so because of that, I've started looking at some other manufacturers. Now, like I said before, my box is not 100%, or my setup rather, is not 100% American made. I mean, just here alone, there's Icon Impact Deeps. These are Grady-Matic, or these are Napa Carlisle, and these are Matco, which means that everything in that tray is made in Taiwan. There's some Gear Wrench over there, more Matco, more Grady-Matic. Pretty much anything in here, Nipro's Japan, Matco Taiwan, you name it. So as you go through my box, I'm not all about 100% American. I do prefer American made tools for the most part, and there's many reasons and justifications I can provide for that. But if you look at like my Snap-on box, everything in there is pretty much all Snap-on. There's some Mac as well, but for the most part, they're all Snap-on. So I'm I would say 80%, 90% of my setup is probably American made, maybe 10 to 15%, somewhere around about there, is probably offshore. But that's just how the cookies crumbled in my situation. And I didn't really initially set out. If you follow my channel, I started with a Husky box, and I had Tecton and Pittsburgh and Grady-Matic and Gear Wrench. I had everything pretty much except Snap-on and Mac and some of the higher ends. So I literally had this entire setup once before, sold everything off, and turned around and reinvested in my setup. And then that's how I got to where I'm at today. And that's old videos. You'd have to go to my channel and like go back like 3 to 4 years in order to find that. But there's a video out there if you guys are interested in seeing what my old setup looked like before I ever got into this particular situation I'm in right now. But here's the Husky sockets, and these are the penless ones. Lifetime warranty, comes with the rail, 7-piece set, 3/8 drive, 360 rotation, 30-degree angle on the head. Goes 10, 12, 13, 14, no 16, 15, 17, 19. There's a little bit about it. And if you look at these sockets, these are pretty much the Gear Wrench X-Core design, and it would make sense because both Husky and the Gear Wrench are made by Apex Tools. I did verify that today. And these here, unfortunately, are made in China. I prefer, if I'm gonna have an offshore tool, I prefer it to be made in Taiwan. But in this case here, these are made in China. Once again, there's your specs. Black oxide coating, chrome moly. Obviously, it's going to be chrome moly because it's impact rated. But yeah, these are, I guess we can go ahead and open them. These are a decent looking set of sockets. Like I said, they look just like the Gear Wrench X-Cores, in my opinion. I've looked at several videos today, not like 2 years ago. I looked at several videos today. I think there's been a host of YouTube creators out there who have compared the X-Cores to other brands, and in doing so, they did a pretty good review of them. So I was able to deduct that they are indeed manufactured in the same plant as the gear wrench X cores. Maybe some difference in specification in terms of maybe the fluting or whatever, but they're all out of chrome moly. So when you get down to chrome moly, they're not going to be changing formulations just for one brand or the other. They're going to all be made out of chrome moly. They may have some centering changes or some heat treatment changes or whatever, but in my opinion, there's not going to be very much of a difference between one brand or the other, especially given the fact that they're manufactured by the same house brand, you know, in this case being Apex Tool Group. But yeah, these, I mean, what can you say about them? I don't know. Is the material probably soft? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I've watched a couple of videos where people were saying that they can be considered soft. You know, they've got the spring loaded. I've heard some people say that the springs kind of give out and they become a little bit floppy over time. We'll see. The reason why I bought this set here is because in my truck box, my road box, I have the deep from Right Tool, which are American made and the best impact grade socket on the market, in my opinion. They're better than Mac. They're better than Snap-on. They're really good. In my opinion, be honest with you guys, and a lot of you guys are probably gonna hate on me for saying this, but it goes, sorry, lost my train of thought. Right Tool, then I would say Gray Pneumatic, Mac, Snap-on, and then maybe a few others. That's in terms of what I think and looking at impact. And I get a lot of impact sockets, like all that's impact. I got a lot of impacts up there. These are primarily all impact. You see, I don't have a lot of chromes. So when I make that statement, I'm basing it off of legitimacy in terms of use and saying, hey, this is what I've seen in metal deformation, wear, etc. And I think that Right Tool is the #1 manufacturer of impact grade sockets. They just got a really good formula for their metal. So we picked those up. Those are gonna go on my truck, and these will be what we use for pulling parts, doing service jobs on the road, things of that nature. That's what I'm gonna use. For comparison's sake, here's a set of old Snap-ons that I picked up. You can see they even have the old previous owner's name inscribed on them. Picked these up from like I don't know, it was a ad on Facebook Marketplace. I got them for like $10. This entire set. I don't think they were ever used. If you look at the fluting there, it's all fairly similar. If you compare that to these here, they all have the same design. I think someone, probably Snap-on, had the original patent for that particular recessed, or that well, they removed some material there to change the load pattern, and then that must have ran out, and now everybody has it. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. You see companies like Gray Pneumatic. I think Matco has a set out there that someone's manufacturing for them, of course. And oops, don't want that on top of there. And they have this like change in the load profile, so they're trying to redistribute the torque or the stress that's being applied on the fastener. They're trying to redistribute it, take it off the corners, redistribute it onto the flat surface, so they can maximize torque but minimize slippage and rounding of the fastener. That's all they're really doing. So but they're all chrome moly, so you got to step aside from the material in a way and look at the profile and the design. In a lot of cases, the design is kind of being used by everybody now. So in the end of the day, what do you really have, right? So just my opinion. This is a set of Mac impacts. I use these a lot. They show a little bit more wear on them. You can kind of see which ones I use the most. They are pinned. Those are also pinned to Snap-on. They have the collet design. You can see here, these are old, but you can see going from highly used to least used, and they look good. They look really good for their age, and they are very reliable. There's the business end, and that's the only amount of deformation you see on that end there. And here's the well, that's not the this is the business end. This is the receiver end there. And you can see there, these are still really good sockets and they have a lot of life left in them. Another set I have here, I think my right tools, but my truck, yeah, that's a different story. They're in my truck. So, but anyway, here's another set, or Cornwell. This is the Blue Power. So these are the offshore Taiwan. Once again, chrome moly. They're not doing anything special. Everybody had the old collet design. I think Harbor Freight or somebody like that. I don't know. They all had this old collet design at some point in time. These are penned, same profile as everyone else. If you look at the inside of it, they're all rocking the same profile. These don't have the undercutting. Those are older, that's why they don't have the undercutting. The snap-ons here has the undercut, and then obviously the Huskies have the undercut. So they all have the same design. These I don't use very often. I have at one period of time. I do have a couple of these I need to warranty out. I think this one here is the one that binds up a lot, and I use this the most often. And that's 10 millimeters. So 10 and 8 is what I use the most out of this set. And then I have, if I go over here, sorry, my box is a mess. We've been really busy here lately. These have not been used because I have a set on my truck. This is an extra set, but this is by far, these are the Right Tools Deeps metric set, full set there, up to 19, no skips. The very best set that you can buy, in my opinion. And I've got a bunch of snap-ons back here as well. Can't get them out. Can't get them out. They're stuck back there. There's some snap-on Deeps back there as well. So I got a good variety of impact sockets for swivels. And like I said, the designs don't really change too much. I mean, there's slight differences, but nothing to write home about. So I guess my point is that I'm gonna try to be a little bit more open to some of this offshore stuff. Like I said, I have enough offshore tools where that statement should not have to be said, but I don't want people thinking that I'm completely 100% all the way, unequivocally all American, because I do have a lot of tools that are manufactured offshore. And even this is the first set of Chinese tools I think I got. I don't think I have anything else that's made in China at the moment, or if I do, I don't recall. But I think these are sufficient for what I'm going to do with them in terms of put them on my truck and do a lot of salvage yard work with these. But they will get some good use, and that's the best place for them because I'm pretty much working on something every weekend that I'm off. So and I'm off every weekend, so these things are going to see some good level of use, and then we'll share that information with you guys in time. Kind of give you guys updates. That's going to wear off. That's going to remain. So, and we'll see how they hold up, and we'll go from there. I got a suspension job I got to do, and I'm probably going to try to use these for everything that I possibly can and see how well and how soft the metal is. I mean, the metal, I hate to say it this way because it sounds kind of stupid to say it, but the metal feels a little light or soft. Obviously I can't determine hardness in my hand, but it doesn't have the same tactile feeling as like the Snap-on or even the Mac. In terms of like weight, that's an 18. Yeah, these feel a lot heavier. Yeah, these feel so, if I have a scale and I don't know where I did with it, but these, I can tell you for a fact, these are so much lighter than these Mac. And that means something, right? Because the heavier the socket, the less work your impact gun has to do, because you're using the weight as in terms of inertia to help spin that bolt on or off. So having them lighter means your impact has to do more work theoretically to remove or tighten a fastener, as opposed to having something that's a little bit more weighted, which can help or aid the impact gun at removing the fastener or the bolt. So, but we'll see how these hold up. I just want to share with you guys that I got a new tool, and we will indeed put these to the test. and see how they hold up. You guys may have seen in my salvage yard bag, real quick here, I better not set that up there because that box is not strong enough. I did pick up a new ratchet. Reluctantly, went to a pawn shop. They had this ratchet here. It was like, they were asking like $59 for it. I'm like, dude, I am not buying it for $59. And he and I got to talk, and he's an old mechanic and everything like that. And I'm like, dude, how about $30? And I said, I'll buy a couple other things from you as well. Some wrenches and stuff like that, just some random stuff. And he says, well, if you make it, you do enough, we'll figure something out. And so I got it for $30. It's the FH936. I already own it. So some will say, well, why the hell did you buy it? And I figured, well, for the price, why not? And I can beat the hell out of it. I think this is what this one is here. Yeah, FH936. So same exact ratchet. But I had, for the price, I mean, why not? I mean, hell, I would pay more. I would pay that much for a Icon, or very close to that for Pittsburgh Pro. So that being said, this was a good deal. So I picked that guy up as well. It's 3/8 drive, by the way. And then the last thing I grabbed, I got more in my truck, but this is what I was working on. I got an old Craftsman USA ratcheting wrench, which is bound up. So I need to open it up or try to put some oil in there somehow and see if I can get that to work. That's a 3/8 drive. And then I picked up a gear wrench, 1/4 inch drive extension, and a Baco USA 3/16 drive. And I'm just gonna throw these in my salvage yard bin, call it a day. But I got a couple other wrenches and stuff. I got some big SK wrenches, I think up to 1 3/4. I think I got like 4 different sizes. So yeah, that's kind of my haul. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna try these out, and these were, just as I got them from Home Depot, and they were 59 bucks. So comparative to the X cores from Gear Wrench, that's a significant amount of savings, because I believe the X core, this is a 7-piece. I think the smallest you can get in metric is like a 10 or 11 piece, and they're like twice as much as these. So and they're all the same socket in my opinion. So we'll see how these things hold up. But guys, thank you for tuning into this video. I know most of you probably have not stuck around this long, because I didn't intend it to be 17 or 18 minutes long. But if you did, thank you. I really appreciate it. And let me know if you watch the video in its entirety, and let me know what you guys think about my latest buy. Do you think they're gonna hold up? Do you think they're gonna fail? What's your opinion on Chinese made tools? All right, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace.